PasticheofSkin, Derm, and all that. It's a quiet night. It's the early hours of St. Patrick's Day, and I thought, yeah, it's worth putting it on camera. So I ended up actually earlier on tonight, I was sitting chatting to a bunch of people inside a bar, and the topic of discussion was actually about Batman. The reason why we started chatting about Batman was because of the recent announcement of Arkham Knights. Arkham Knights is the fourth game in the Arkham series. The first two, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, were both done by Rocksteady. And the third one recently, Arkham Origins, was not. The big question is, why was that the case? Why did Rocksteady, who have a proven track record, have essentially a good talent for working within the Batman mythos and actually choosing characters and actually putting an environment together that is eminently playable and caused a lot of people to give the original Arkham Asylum and Arkham City award after award and acclaim. Now, the immediate idea behind Arkham Origins being done by a different group really relates down to the fact that it's a franchise. Franchisee, whatever. No matter what, there was actually probably a pressure to have another Arkham game out as soon as possible because it's a money spinner, it's a critically acclaimed series, and of course because Rocksteady were probably working on Arkham Knight and needed more time, the license was passed on to somebody else to essentially use the assets that were available from something else, Arkham City, to produce another game. Of course, using the B-list of characters that can't be used due to them probably appearing in Arkham Knight, or their characters having an arc that ended within Arkham City. Now, we've all seen the trailer. The trailer is, of course, fantastic. So was the trailer for Arkham Origins. Nobody had a problem with watching Deathstroke and Batman battle it out on the rooftops of Gotham. I mean, that was fantastic. It was a good scene. Two very well paired characters as well, with the militaristic attitude of Deathstroke, a true mercenary, and Batman's do not kill policy. I mean, they make a really good combination back and forth. It's similar enough to Deadshot and Batman. They're characters who kind of like polar oppose each other. Deadshot using a lot of guns, Batman never killing, you know? It's a good choice. And of course the announcement for Deathstroke being a playable character was the icing on the cake, because they had previously done it with Arkham City to have the subplot played through as Catwoman. And then of course they had Robin and his multitude of costumes for the DLC for Joker's Revenge, etc. as well. But Arkham Origins, of course, had a bit of contention whenever it came out. There was a game-breaking bug that stopped progress in the game. I don't know details about that because I haven't actually played Origins myself. It was a game that just kind of passed my purview, and I kind of didn't want to play through it because I personally found issues with Arkham City. Essentially, the Grundy fight. Once I got to Grundy, I just didn't really want to play anymore, so I was more comfortable watching other people play through it to see the rest of the story. Arkham Origins, that game-breaking bug that people were talking about was addressed in a press release or in commentary from somebody's Twitter account. This is actually just me remembering rather than actually properly researching it, because of course this is Drunk Gamer, so I don't have to. Somebody commenting on the fact that they weren't going to fix game-breaking bug because they're busy working on DLC. That caused a lot of problems. That caused bad press. That caused gamer backlash. That caused people's reaction to sour on the game itself, because you fix your bugs, then you start selling things to people. That should be the rule of thumb, but of course it wasn't in the case of Arkham Origins. Arkham Knights being the Rocksteady game, what you could say the actual sequel to Arkham City. I think a lot of it really was Rocksteady were already working on Arkham Knights and just went, we are not releasing it this year, and then somebody else going, well, why don't we get somebody else to do it instead, which obviously happened. Arkham Knights shows in the trailer the involvement of the Batmobile. which is a different version from the Tumblr of the Dark Knight series, different from the Batman of the animated series, different from the Batman of the TV show, the live action TV show, and different from the Batman of the movies. Like it's a unique vehicle unto itself. But the involvement of the Batmobile opens up questions to what the content is going to be in the next game. The combat in Batman has actually been so simple and fluid that it's been hailed as a very, very good combat system. Personally, I find it a little bit simplified, in the same vein as Assassin's Creed's counter and parry system, which is fine. I loved Rise to Honor, Jet Li's Rise to Honor, which had a similar system, but of course used the analog stick for directional combat, for being able to throw a back kick in the middle of a forward hitting combo as he tapped it right, left to attack. I like Arkham's series combat, and the involvement of the Batmobile and possibly the Batwing, which has been mentioned by a number of people. It opens questions to what environment we're going to be working in. Arkham City proved and shown that you can open world this Batman game. Arkham Asylum was very restrained and directional because of location. Arkham City showed that they could build scope. Arkham Origins didn't prove anything new. Arkham Knights could possibly present us the open world Gotham, the city that we actually travel around in. I suppose maybe the Lego Batman series has actually already done this. They've already shown the ability to travel around, and they've also done it with other Marvel characters in the Lego Marvel games as well. But the possibility of a fully open Arkham and allowing transportation to be an important part of it. We've already seen many times in the cartoon series and films and anything else the remote control capabilities of the Batmobile, of the Batwing, of any Bat vehicle, Batcycle, Batcopter, whatever you want to talk about. We've seen that Batman can summon these things remotely. My personal favourite was actually in the Batman Predator crossover in the comics. He ended up using the Batmobile to just destroy the Predator in like a severe kind of vehicular manslaughter manner. It's been used plenty of times for plenty of reasons. But think about this. In the combat, the fluidity of the combat that you have with a group of 5 or 6 people, say for example you fuck up your stealth attack. You drop from a building, you wanted to string this guy up, but somebody spots you and they summon up 20 guys, but they're all standing in the middle of the road. What do? Well, you go down and fight all 20 guys. Who doesn't want to build a massive combo beating the shit out of a room full of people as the Batman? But what you could do is summon the Batmobile and run those fuckers over. Why wouldn't you? Same thing with the Batwing. You could actually drop bombs from the sky, or if it came to the fact that you didn't want to actually get into combat at all, you could easily grapple hook straight up onto the Batwing and go on. You're escaped out of the situation, and of course they can't track you because the Batwing being stealthy and all that kind of stuff. So the combat would be affected by the inclusion of vehicles if they went that way, and I think it's actually an interesting thought to actually, what could they do? What could they do that they haven't already done? They've already gone through the pantheon of Batman villains, and the best Batman villains, I think a lot of people have said, are any character that can reflect some part of Batman's personality or Bruce Wayne's personality that hasn't actually been expressed. And obviously in the trailer we've seen Harley, we've seen Two-Face, and we've seen the Penguin. Now, Cobblepot, ever since Batman Returns, has this subtext about his family losing their money and essentially the Waynes being the evil of his. But Penguin's always been portrayed in the comics, and quite a lot in the cartoons, as being an illicit businessman, somebody who can actually, he swallows that line between Batman crazy villain and actually legitimate business owner. Iceberg Lounge, working as a mediary for the Hood and other characters. Oh wait, hang on. Is the Hood DC? Yes, the Hood's DC. Sorry, I'm almost sure of that, but I could be mixing up my Marvel and DC characters now. In fact, I'm pretty sure I am. Yeah, the Hood. The Red Hood. That's the reason why. The Hood was actually a Marvel character who took over part of Hell's Kitchen and was like a low-time gangster that happened to find, I think, a magical hood, but he still just shot people. He was also a psychopath, so. But yeah, the Penguin essentially is a crime lord of the Gotham, or the Bat universe. Same as Black Mask and anybody else, even Bane, whenever he was actually running the city. Or, what was the, O'Hara? I can't remember. Whenever it was No Man's Land, the snake woman who actually had the werewolf sidekick, I think they're part of like the Crime Society or something, like the ones that actually had the Book of Crime. It was a very major plot point in Batwoman and The Question. But yeah, I digress from what I was chatting about. Batman Arkham Knight. We've seen the combat, we've seen the environment they're going to be setting in. It's the full environment of Arkham City. What we want to see is the open world Batman game. We want to see Gotham represented like Manhattan was in Spider-Man 2. A wide open space for things to happen. Also Web of Shadows did it, but with very, very bad frame rate whenever you swung too fast. I'm pretty sure, does anybody else remember that? Whenever you were playing through Web of Shadows and you got your web swinging leveled up enough that you could outrun the rendering? All you would see would be grey buildings, grey buildings, grey buildings, boom! All the textures pop into place. But yeah. Arkham Knight. We're all excited about it because of the trailer. And we're all excited about it because of Rocksteady being involved. But what are Rocksteady bringing to the table? Feel free to discuss it underneath this video. Feel free to discuss it anywhere, but I want to have a dialogue. I want to have a drunken dialogue, and feel free to get drunk whenever you come up with a post or a comment. This is Drunken Gamer signing off. What the hell have we got to expect from Arkham Knight?